nothing that these people have.
All right, you ready to go? Okay, I think one of the biggest things I will remember about this place is how people live here. You know, you can see third world countries on TV until you actually see it up front. It's totally different. When you drive down the streets, you don't see shopping centers like you would in Tulsa or anywhere else. You see like thrift stores, or I wouldn't even call them thrift stores, but and the homes, they're not homes, they're cardboard boxes or they're corrugated tin just wired together with dirt floors. And it's like a little city in some of them because they got corrugated tin as a main wall for everybody, and then it looks like they've got it sectioned up inside those houses. And then outside is just trash. And the streets, you see stuff running down the street. You're not for sure what it is. You have an idea, but everybody else avoids it, so you're thinking, you know, it's probably coming from a bathroom or something. And the kids on the street corners, you know, that come up to the vehicles wanting money, candy, or whatever. It's just, it makes a big impact on you, you know, for people who have nothing. You know, in the U.S., we're used to having everything we want, or everything we can work for to get. You know, it's within our reach. But here, it's not that way. It's nothing close to it here. Probably one of the biggest impacts was one of the first day when we went to, we were on our way to what they call a clinic or a shelter or something where they feed. And we were driving down the road, and there was this big pile of trash on the side of the road. Well, I actually started filming this guy standing in the middle of the trash, and before I really realized what he was doing, you know, I was catching everything he was doing, and then after I stopped, I realized that he was using the bathroom out there in the middle of nowhere on the open street. And I was taking his picture. So actually, you're not alone now. I've seen it too. So, but then we went up to this clinic, and you walk through this little gate, and then it's just dirt. I mean, it looks like, if you think about back home, it looks like either not really a garbage dump, but it looks like, you know, somebody's workshop. And you walk in there, and you smell something cooking over an open fire, and you look, and they have a big pot there. It looks like maybe water they're starting to boil, where they're getting ready to feed these kids there. And then you look on this table, and it looks like they probably just have pallets or something set up, and there's a doctor there, and they're taking care of these kids there. And you look out through there, and there was, I don't know how many kids there was there, but there was a bunch. You know, it's just a muddy ground. You've got animals over here in one section that they have fenced off. Then you have a place where they're cooking food right here next to it, and then right there in front of all of that, you've got a little medical clinic. All of this looks like it's ran out of somebody's backyard, and I think that's what it was. But there was a little girl there that kind of caught my eye. I mean, I asked to take her picture, and when she said okay, she just kind of posed and smiled real big. And then Ron Bryant, he told me the little girl's history. Last year at this time, her and her family were living on the street or in the dumps. He's not for sure where they were living at now, but things have changed. You know, they were dressed this time, and she looked pretty healthy. She looked happy. Something about that little girl, when I seen her, it made me think of my own girls. You know, how hard it must be for these parents to, because they can offer their kids no future at all. I mean, the only thing they can offer them is, a way to survive. Whether it's scavenging the dumps or living off the streets. That's the only thing they've got to look forward to. And I remember watching this family, this young girl and her brother and sister and her mom walk up the street, and they were walking back up to an area where they had said that where we had seen there was trash just piled alongside the road there. I remember seeing them walk back up that area, and I wondered, were they going to a so-called home, or were they going back to a cardboard box that they lived in. So the kids here is one of the things that make the most impact on you. When you go to the orphanages, I mean, they're not like orphanages like you would think of. I mean, these people who take care of these children at these orphanages, they really do a job that is just unbelievable. Because these kids, they are so reverent. I mean, they will do everything you ask them to do. When you're talking to them, they sit there, they listen to you. And then we got to go through some of their classrooms and through some of their bedrooms. Their bedrooms, my goodness, I wish my kids could come down here and see this. I mean, for little orphan children, I mean, they take pride in everything that they have. They don't have much, but what they have is usually just given to them or donated to them once a year. But what they have, they take care of. And it's the only thing they can really take pride in. So, and when you sit there and you talk to them, and, I've had several of them come up to me, "Are you a gringo?" And it's like, well, yeah, I guess that's the only thing I could be. But, they kind of open up and they start talking to you the best they can. The second one, they could speak a little more English. They would ask you your name. They ask where you were from. They would tell you who they were, how old they were. It's just, I'm just amazed by the workers that are taking care of these, the love that they actually pour into these children. When you think of an orphanage, you think of just a corral full of kids and the adults don't care anything about them. It's just they get paid to take care of them. They make sure they're fed and schooled, and that's it. But that's not the case here. These people actually care for them.
What about the girl that carried the doll with no head?
Oh, today we were standing outside the conference hall, and it's in a kind of a rough part of town. They said don't walk down any of the alleys or too far away from the street because you probably get your throat cut. So Bill and I were standing out there just talking, and this girl comes by, and she's just clutching this doll. And you start looking at this doll, you realize that the doll has an old black and dirty dress on it, but the head is missing off of it. But she is caring for that doll like it was brand new. That's the only thing in the world she had. She was just grasping that doll.
Did you see the doll that he was talking about? Or was that you talking about the doll at the dump?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that doll. The doll at the dump.
Here, let somebody tell us that one.
Well, no, wait a minute, because all I did was see a doll stuck down in the dirt.
Oh, it was just in the dirt.
Yeah, so
But you thought what when you saw it?
I was just surprised some kid wasn't playing with it.
Yeah. Okay. It's like
The doll